This is Kyle Beret. Welcome to my channel. I just got up a little bit ago. I just checked my MT4. I ended up waking up to some nice profits, and I'll tell you exactly what my trade was based off of 4-hour momentum and rejection. So not only do I pay attention to just being in between zones, what I also pay attention to is how those big 4-hour candles reject for potential reversals. So as we know, yesterday we did have this extremely big drop all the way through Asian. And then of course, what do we know about London? London usually has a bullish bias. I couldn't tell you why. There might be some technical or fundamental or political reason for that. I don't know. But if you pay attention to London, it usually has a bias of always being bullish. I know that sounds crazy, but it is the way that it is. Just like London or Asian Open is usually always bullish too. I'll make another YouTube video doing a little back test on that. But anyway, so last night I was waiting for this 4-hour candle to close, and this was actually in the Nikkei time. And then the next candle that will open will be the 10 p.m. And then in the 10 p.m., you will have the London open during that new 4-hour candle. So what I went ahead and did is I placed buys on support, and then I don't want to switch to a smaller time frame yet because I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. I also had higher highs and higher lows on those lower time frames. So they were confirming potential change of structure. They were confirming a bullish push. And so I just did a little math and I did my formula and I just added everything up. And let's look and see what ended up happening. So you definitely can see how during that 10, this is the next 4-hour candle. So you definitely see how we did reject. And what I went ahead and did was I placed my TP around 40 here. And the reason why I did place TP around 40 was based off of this whole wick range area saying, well, if we're going to come up with this big of a rejection, I probably could have placed them even higher because this might be a scalp to swing for a lot larger, but all TPs were indeed hit. So there we go. That is 42 pips. And then let's look at what happens with the next candle. Boom, boom. Let me do a little replay. I'm still getting the hang of these replay things. I'm not entirely sure how I do it nicely. Boom, boom. I kind of just did it fast. Oh, I can reduce the speed, it looks like. Yeah, let's do every 5 seconds. Let's get a good look at this, okay? I want you guys just to see get a good look at this, because this style of candle here is definitely a sign of rejection, especially when we already have pulled down this high. If we're going to continue going bearish, we have not made any lower highs yet, and we've already just tapped this big supply zone because you can definitely see prices touch the zone so many times. It is a strong area, so let's go ahead and hit play again. So we rejected the supply zone, of course, major sign of rejection. There's the first candle, right? TP's in this whole range. It's just going way too fast for me. Oh, it's because this candle hasn't finished off. That's why it's doing it. Even concluding going to the 10 a.m., the 6 a.m. push, look how strong these were, and it hadn't necessarily hit that next zone yet. So if we were only trading 6 a.m., then there's still potential for 16 pips. That's so big. And let's go ahead and look on the smaller time frame yet, because I want you guys to be able to see what the smaller time frame was doing. Right? So here's the lowest low here, right? And then what do we have? We're making higher highs. and higher lows. I will label those if you guys cannot just get an idea and grasp in your head. And then, of course, right, and then these two little ones too as well. But that was that next kind of zone that I was expecting price to reach, and I woke up to price reaching that zone perfectly, which was very nice. And then, of course, I will just do this just so that your eyes can be trained as much as my eyes are being trained to this. So we do know that when price is making higher highs and higher lows, we are bullish. It's kind of like the highest point here. Actually, I should probably just keep it here, huh? Why not? Because who cares? We're already here. And now let's go ahead and clone these. More higher lows, more higher lows, more higher lows. And then look, a potential cross. We might have another just rally, another base, maybe even another rally. So it definitely was a pivotal point. So this whole structure down here, even on the 5-minute, was the pinnacle of deciding that, okay, we are going to reverse because we are just making higher highs and higher lows all the way up. And this was actually, my entries were not until the real London time, which is all in here. But you can definitely see how price was making higher highs and higher lows to begin. But of course, it was a scalp to swing. And then where did I place my stop loss? So I always tell you guys, when I place my stop losses, I usually like to look at the 15-minute. And anytime I place buys, if I'm going buy, I look at where the most recent resistance was. So my stop loss was not quite down that far, but it was at 8.0. Around 13 pips. This was where my stop loss was. My stop loss was just kind of below the most recent support, because if we're buy bias, I want my stop loss to be below that support. And then, of course, TP. So you can see around a 13 pip stop loss to a 42 pip TP. It's very good risk to reward. It's just very, very good scalp to swing. So just based off of the 4-hour candle, this is where, just based off the 4-hour candle, this was my signal for a reversal on the supply zone. So without further ado, I do not really need to get too much more into detail. It's just kind of very basic. You know, this is hopefully that you guys were able to take out a couple little nuggets from this. But this was my analysis trading London last night. Actually, my entries were hours before London opened, was right as that 4-hour candle did close, because that's what I was waiting for. And there it was, scalp to swing. Of course, if you guys want, if you don't already, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Thewolfoffx. My Facebook, just my name. And then, of course, you can email me if you desire. But this is all I got for you today, guys. Very textbook. 4-hour rejection. Lower time frames had higher highs and higher lows. Already going into it, right? This was even another higher low here. I should have had that up because that's actually what I saw before all of this. But this was huge rejection. Boom, boom. Big higher low. This is the LL. This is the lowest low. So you do want to have LL in, just because that's the lowest low. That's the lowest point possible. So this LL and then higher high and then higher low. Changing of trend. More higher highs, higher low, higher high. Broke the resistance. That's what makes it the new higher high. Broke this resistance, makes it the new higher high. And then we even made another little pullback here, which became the another higher low. And then you can see it came back to the same area. more higher highs, broke this higher high. So now it becomes a new higher low because we're breaking the structure. And that, my friends, is a scalp to swing. And I will see you guys on the next one.